Hello, Patreon.
Hi, Patreon.
Hi,
How
guys.
are you? Happy New Year again,
Happy
Patreon.
New Year to ya. Happy New Year to Lindsay Kent. Hello, and thank you for being a friend and telling us to watch the Golden Girls documentary that we couldn't find, so we just watched the Golden Girls.
Yeah, we watched season 1, episode 25, called "The Way We Met." Was supposed to be a really iconic,
Oh, the way we met.
and you'll hear all about it in
Yeah.
the primary. If you get through Joe's ADD, you might hear a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, you might. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mom, let me ask
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Tell me any tea that you found about the Golden Girls that you didn't share on the main. Find it.
Well, I went through the shows that were on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What else did you find? Did you find anything good? Did you find
let me
any good
see.
little nuggets in there?
Yeah, I found some things.
What'd you
One of the things I think was interesting, they won an Emmy. It was the first series to every lead actress won an Emmy at different times, but each of them have won an Emmy. And
Very nice. What year was that?
deal. Each were different years.
Hmm.
Each were different years. They won an Emmy for an episode called
Did you watch it?
yes,
Oh God, what was it called?
Rose Dates a Midget.
Oh no. No,
And
that one
Sophia,
didn't. That one
they
didn't
touched
age
every
well.
subject, whether it was
Oh
gay, whether it
no.
was in vitro fertilization. They didn't shy away from anything.
Well,
And it's
yeah,
called,
because back then you could say that.
well, that's the name of the show.
I don't
And
think
Sophia's
I
the
don't think
mom.
you're allowed to
Says,
talk about that. They talk about that in Little People Big World, Mom.
I
You're like
love Little Bill, and I love Amy Roloff.
you
I'm a big
apologize to
fan.
Amy right
And
now.
Tori Roloff.
Apologize to
Little
them.
people. Okay, but I have to. Amy, I know that you will accept my apology, but I don't
You
think you'll
don't
be
know
offended.
that. Speak not for Amy
I
Roloff,
watched that
bitch.
show
You're
a
not the
lot.
one.
Well, it's just the name of the show. It
You're
isn't
not
what
an ally to
I
the
call
gays
him.
or Little People or
Okay,
the cast
I
of Little
won't.
People Big World. You're canceled.
Okay,
You're canceled. Off the air. She's off the air.
Sorry, Amy, Tori, I love you guys, but the name of it, I'll change it up. The name of it was Rose Dates a Little Person.
Mm-hmm. And was it at the expense of a little person?
No, the little person broke up with her.
Oh.
The little person broke up with her in the show. Sophia asked Rose, "Is he a?" She said the other word, but is he a little person? And Dorothy said, "Well, yes." And she says, "Thank God, because I thought I was having another stroke."
Oh, fuck. This is why I can't let you have the internet. Seriously. This is seriously
Come on.
this is literally why I have control of all your social media.
And another one was they did an episode
please,
that a
tell us another
lesbian
one.
was staying with them for a little bit.
I can't wait for 10 years from now for this shit to surface back on the internet, and I don't have a career. That's great. You know, we got Little People United gonna come after me trying to ask for reparations from us.
I know.
Jesus.
Anyway, a lesbian woman was staying with them for a few days, right? And the whole Betty White's character says, she says, "Isn't Danny Thomas one?" Oh no, Danny Thomas is Lebanese.
Oh, shit.
The thing. And then Blanche got pissed because she was like, "Oh, lesbian," and all this kind of stuff. They were, she was acting a little weary, but then she got pissed because the lesbian falls in love with Rose and not her. She was slighted because the lesbian didn't like her, because Blanche was all about her and everybody, liking her. It was hilarious.
Funny, didn't
they weren't afraid of getting racy. Well, that was the wonderful part of that show.
Can you just stop for him? Nobody was afraid of getting racy because it wasn't racy in the 80s, Mom.
Are you kidding me?
That was not racy at all.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely not. I'm not kidding you. Do you even remember
the 80s? You weren't even born.
Mom, you used to do cocaine at work in the 80s. Like, it was, you poke fun at anything. You could probably say the N-word on TV in the 80s.
It was still racy. They took him
Did
off.
you do you even know who Andrew Dice Clay is? It
Oh, I
wasn't,
used to watch him all the time.
and that was just socially acceptable to let that shit out. Like, it wasn't racy. It was just like there were no lines. Like, it was just socially acceptable to talk about people at the expense of who they are.
Oh, that's probably true.
Trust me, I'm speaking from my 1 year of experience from being alive in the 80s. And it was
Listen,
quite the year. The doctor was smoking cigarettes while he pulled me out of your
I used to work
cachini.
with when I first worked into healthcare and first became a nurse. That was 1984, but even before then, I worked in the ER and everything. But on the units, doctors used to smoke walking down the hallway
Mm-hmm.
and smoke going into the patient's rooms. Like oxygen was going, and these doctors. One Dr. Igna, loved Dr. Igna. He took care of all the Ford women, He'd be smoking away. Hi, how are you today? And walk into a patient's room, and the nurses would smoke at the nurses station and in the break room. And it was such a different time back then, back in the 70s.
I can't imagine like walking into the ER and the receptionist just like, yes, like what? I can't. I was
Walking up to
telling
the nurses station. I would like to, my mom in 23B is laying on the floor. Okay, I'll be right there. Just hang on just a minute.
one of our friends in our friend group is 26, and Morgan and I were explaining that
Who?
what?
You and who?
Morgan and I were
Okay.
explaining to him that like we remember cigarette ads being in magazines and like on commercials for like Joe Cool the Camel, and they were like, there used to be, he was on TV. What? Yeah, it was on TV. Like, I literally remember the day that the smoking laws changed in Michigan, and
Why were you
the
smoking?
no, the bar that we used to smoking what? The bar that we used to go to in Michigan, called the Blackstone at the time at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, the Blackstone was just, you could smoke in there, and you would go there and it was just smoky, and you'd come out, you had to take a shower before you went to bed. If you didn't, your bed would reek for weeks. All of your clothes smelled. We used to just strip down in our garage and then walk into the house just reeked of smoke. And I
Yeah.
remember the day they stopped the laws, I walked into the Blackstone and nobody was smoking, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like that. Yeah.
Bowling alleys used to just, the billowing of the
Clouds.
smoke
Oh,
coming out of bowling alleys and stuff. It's a very nice change. And I was a smoker at the time, and I'm just
you were a
thankful
what?
of that change for
You
sure.
were a smoker?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
you knew that. Here we go. Anyway, one of the great things, I loved listening to the women talk about comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about the rhythm of comedy, the
Well,
timing
rhythm is a
between
dancer.
actors is critical. She said, Betty White said, comedy is like a sea anemone. If you're not careful, it'll fold up on you. And I thought,
Mm.
oh, that's a cool way to, and either you got it, Blanche said, either you got it or you don't.
You got it. You
And they
got
said that a lot of
it.
time actors who weren't comedians, um, they had a really difficult time with, they would change their voice, they would change who they are when they didn't need to do that at all. And they just
Yeah.
didn't know how to deliver comedy. And that was very tough for them.
Yeah, my friend Richie right now is a writer on a late night show out here, and
Oh, really?
yeah, he was saying how he writes jokes for the host, and he says the host is not a comedian. So he's like, I have to not only give him the lines but teach him how to say them. Like
Oh,
how he
yeah.
has to, where the pauses go, how the delivery should be. I have to like run through how to say it because the joke is funny, but when I give it to him, it's just like you can't just say the words and make it funny. You got to say it correct.
Right. Exactly. The movements, it's like dancing sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
either you have it or you don't.
Do you have it? Do you
Um,
think you have it?
where do you think you got it?
Do you think you could do stand up?
Yep.
Bullshit.
No, I could.
You think you could? What would you write about?
There's a lot of stuff I could
Being a
write about. In
not
fact, when
ally?
I used to do, I was a guest speaker at many different healthcare events. I
Mm-hmm.
always made sure I put some funny things in there, especially to start off right off the bang, boom,
Hilarious. Yeah, you're hilarious.
And I love being on the stage. and I love guest speaking. And I know
I'm hearing I
that,
love attention.
well, where do you think you came from? The master of attention his whole entire life. Anyway, I think I could do it.
It's not wrong. What would you?
I know that it's not, but I don't. I'm very humbled by it because watching you, listening to your other comedian friends,
I would tell.
it is a very hard
Oh,
road.
it's
It's
so
very
hard. It's
difficult.
ruthless. It's cutthroat. It's bad. Nolan, am I wrong? Like I'm right. You know I'm right. Mom, I would tell you like do an open mic and just like see what you got, but like please don't.
Why?
I just don't. I don't. I don't.
There's this one woman
I
from
don't think I can
Georgia.
pick up
She's
the
from the South,
ashes.
and she's probably in her 50s.
Leanne Morgan. Leanne
Blonde
Morgan.
hair.
Leanne Morgan. Yeah.
She's hilarious.
She's very funny. She's very funny. I have hope and faith in you, but like Nolan, you can't like encourage a loved one to do stand up. Like anybody on the street, I'd be like, yeah, you should try it. It's liberating. But like I can't.
Well, you tell other people to.
I can't tell you to.
Why?
Just because of like that bone crushing feeling of when like you don't do well.
What do you think I felt so many times watching you do shit?
And then
that didn't go over.
Like I don't.
Or that's embarrassing.
Mom, I don't think I could watch you bomb. Because
I know what that feels like. You would have a hard time. Because I had a hard time.
I would watch you bomb, and I would just be like, oh, God, like, oh, God. And I would just take it so, like, I feel like I would feel your pain. Like, as a comic, you don't, like, you bombed, and it sucks, but you're like, okay, I'm going to do it again because I'm a comic. But, like watching you and knowing everybody saw you bomb, I would be like, oh.
Do you think bombing would make me not do it again?
No. I know you would do it again, but I would be like, oh. Especially if you ever put like a clip out there and it wasn't great and people were like, here's Mr. D's mom doing stand up. I'd be like, oh God,
I wouldn't even be associated with you.
She should open for you once. She should do a 5-minute little guest spot. I would love.
I like this guy.
I think she would crush it.
I'd crush
opening for you
for
a quick 5 minutes.
Dude, I'd be so into that though. I would let her do it, but she's got to do like what 60 open mics first to perfect that 5. Like,
I don't know. I could see Fran coming out just crushing a quick 5 minutes.
Nolan,
with the context.
No,
I feel like for the first minute she would just get nothing but love, and then all she have to write out is those next 4.
Okay. But here's something you don't know.
Thank you, Nolan.
She's getting better about it.
I am not afraid of bombing. I'm not afraid of doing bad.
She's herself in the Patreon now, but when we're in the main, when she's on, she changes and she's not herself. Like you get this audience presence. Like
that can happen.
Yeah, you turn
into. Do you think I did that in the last Let's Watch TV?
Yes.
You did.
Absolutely. You turn into this like.
Part of what I was trying to do was control your ADD.
It doesn't matter. Then right now, you're being yourself. No, you
get a raise.
You get oh God. There was this girl that I used to work with too.
Here we go.
She would totally be a completely different person in front of the parents. Like she would be like, "Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, thank you." Okay.
Oh, like you are with Morgan's parents.
She would. No, I'm not. Like I'm myself. I'm just a reserved version of reserved version. I'm not fake. I'm a reserved version of myself. Mm-hmm. This bitch would literally 100% turn into somebody else, and you, my dear friend, turn into. That was actually weird. You're not my friend. Turn into a different human when there's an audience. You do.
Well, you know what? I think that's great criticism, and I'm going to put that to task.
Where are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it, Mom? We're going to do it Southeast Michigan. We're going to do stand-up.
Realize that.
You at Ridley's tonight? You going to do 5? You going to an open mic?
Take time and write my bit, man.
Write your bit. She's going to write her bit. Literally, I will die.
You think you were just born funny out of just the womb? I'm just so funny. You don't think you got it from anywhere?
Listen. Also, if you, in the rare chance, just so you know, in the rare chance that you like succeed at this. I will support you, and I think that's great. But like, I'm not like trying to give you opportunities over me. Like, if they called you to do JFL and I didn't get it, I'd be like, cut the bitch. Like, get her out. Like, I don't care what it is. Like,
I never
I
thought
would
I was
literally throw marbles on stage like the movie Showgirls. No, I wouldn't, because once the old people break a hip, they die.
Think of me as a threat.
I said did you roll back the tapes? I said in the rare chance that you got like good.
But if I wasn't a threat, you never would have thought that.
So I guess
even for a millisecond.
I guess we never.
I'm calling my friend Rosebud up.
Oh. Oh shit!
And my good friend Jimmy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call them up.
You're not. You're not.
Oh.
Wait. Pause. Will you?
You don't think for 1 minute.
Will you do it? Will you go do an open mic?
Yeah, after I put my stuff together.
What are you going to talk about?
Joey, I right now, I have to write my bit. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff I could write about. I could write about you, like you write about me. God, that'd be so easy.
Just so you know,
simple.
I have heavy artillery waiting to go about you that I am just waiting to do, but you have not signed off
heavy
on it.
Artillery. You better not.
You have not signed off on it. But like
you better be careful of that heavy artillery.
But let me ask you what. Can I do those jokes when you die? Not that I'm hoping it. Not that I'm hoping it. Not that I'm putting it out there. But do I have permission to do those jokes when you die? Because you don't have to like withstand you don't have to feel what it feels like to hear me.
You know what? Here's the deal. If you're a comedian, you should be able to take any bullet that comes at you.
So can I tell you?
You can.
So you're a comedian now. So
you can do it now.
About you?
Absolutely. If you think it's a great, listen to me. If you think it's a great joke,
do you know what I'm talking
about? And you think it's worth being on stage?
Okay, great. Do you know what I'm talking about?
But that audience,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Loves me.
Do you?
They wear T-shirts for me.
They do, Nolan. They do.
Be very careful.
They wear her T-shirts.
They might go.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
What are you saying? What? I know you're.
I can say.
Are you thinking of a specific piece? Are you going to do something for me right now?
I was thinking of like 5 specific pieces.
Go ahead.
But we'll save it.
No, please.
I'm not going to do it right now. I haven't written it out. It would
you're telling me to jump in there and just start telling shit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well.
You're telling me to.
Anyway.
Cast my thing. Hey, listen.
We got to go.
No, wait a minute. No. There's one more thing that's really important.
Linda. Yes.
It's the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And did you make any 2022 New Year's resolutions?
I told you it's to cut back on swear words.
Oh, that was truly a resolution.
Which I think I've done pretty good at so far.
Yeah, you have. Very well. Well, according to Country Living, do you want to know what the top 10 2022 is?
Probably the same as they've been for the past 20 years, I bet. But
some of them
hit me.
But some of them were new.
Yeah.
Want to hear them?
Yeah, go.
Lose weight, changing your diet. That's always. Get fit. That's always. Spend more time with family and friends. Take care of your mental health. Sort out your finances and cut back on spending. Travel more. I'm going to do that. Take up a new hobby or interest. I'm going to do that. And according to Puffy.com.
Yeah, super legitimate, that one. Puffy.com.
Totally legit.
Mm-hmm.
Set some small achievements and goals to attain throughout the year.
And
Not
then
great,
really
big ones.
quick,
I'm going to lose 100 pounds.
What's your New Year's resolution before we?
Well, let me get through this.
Okay, well, can we not? Because I gotta go let out my dog.
Jesus. My New Year's resolution is to get healthy.
I think you already are healthy.
You do?
Oh, I have to find healthy.
Well, define it.
If healthy is a circle, then you are healthy.
I am. You're gonna take that back. You're gonna.
If these people only knew how like messed up our family actually is.
We're not messed up. You're messed up. Yeah. You're the messed up one.
Well, if you wouldn't have dropped me on my head and not tell anybody like you
doctor
did,
did
then
it.
we would have been fine. You guys, she dropped me on my head in a CVS, not even a CVS, an Arbor Drugs, as a 2-month-old baby,
I
and
did not. I
didn't
wanted
tell
to drop him.
anybody. She didn't tell anybody. I should call CPS on you now.
I was thinking to myself in CVS, I should drop this kid on his head.
You should
wonder
write
what
that
would
joke
happen.
out
And you
before
came
you put
out
it
a
on the
comedian.
stage. It's not working. All right, we love you guys so much, and we'll see you next time on
Let's Watch TV.
TV.
Bye, everybody.